Hello, everyone. I'm Mappy. That's Kovac, and we're here with the terrible, terrible truth about John Halo.
Yeah. That John Halo. Well, you set me up for this bit and we never discussed a punchline.
Why do we even need a punchline? We just need the truth.
Fair enough. I don't know, he's an abused soldier. Commander Keyes actually has a lot to do with his backstory. You know, Commander Keyes is the one who actually picked him out for the Spartan program? Like, Halsey technically did, but Keyes was the one who found him and, like, is what got him into the military. Not sure why I wasn't moving there.
So,
I'm going to take a moment
because you're moving
here.
through dimensions.
Oh, sorry, say that again?
Just because you're moving through dimensions.
I'm going to just take a moment here and just point out that I'm about to show something off. I'm waiting here so that all the dialogue plays out.
Is it going to be the thing? The thing that screwed
Yes.
you up?
No, I don't actually get screwed up by this, because I've already experienced this personally, so I knew not to do this. I played the entire game on Classic as much as I could. But I'm going to walk over here. Now take a quick look at this tree. You see this tree, right? You see the geometry of this tree?
Yeah.
Now look at it in new graphics. Now back to Classic. New graphics, back to Classic. If you shot at the hole in that tree, for whatever reason, and this is not the only object in game like that, it would hit the geometry and your shot would just miss. And that is...
This is a very well developed port, I guess you'd call it? Upgrade?
Remake, yeah. There's actually a pretty good video that I know by a person who only uses, like, paper puppets.
That was the one that I was referencing earlier when I was like, hey, I watched a video on this and how the geometry was screwed up.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun video, honestly. But, it's just... I like how they make a big deal out of that in this one level.
I mean, what happens if the Covenant reaches the stationary gun? They'll have a stationary gun, Kovac! A stationary gun!
Do you have more ammo for the sniper rifle in this level than you can normally hold with the sniper rifle for some reason? And this is never commented on. You normally cannot have 64 rounds of the sniper rifle. They just wanted you to be able to use it that much in this level. They gave you more bullets than ever possible.
They gave you a custom sniper rifle.
I guess, though you can't refill the bullets, so... It's strange, to say the least. Also, the sniper rifle in Halo can effectively be used at close range.
Which is always an interesting thing, especially when you're... I don't know, I think it would add a little something if you're doing it at close range with the sight.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, to go back to the earlier comment that Keyes was one of the person who picked him out, so that makes the bit at the very beginning where you shot Keyes make a lot more sense.
In a way, yes. I think, like, if I remember correctly, like, the comic book shows Master Chief, like, getting into, like, being, like, an orphan, I think in Africa, who, like, tries to fist fight Keyes, because I think he's, like, I don't know, I read this comic forever ago. But I just remember that Keyes is linked to the backstory.
So, like, right now I'm justifying that quick clip where you shot Keyes and then got mobbed by Marines. This is a passing fantasy in John Spartan's head.
You know, they try to, in the later games, especially Halo 4 and onwards, to start to address a little bit how Master Chief is probably emotionally traumatized. But they don't really do a good job at it. Like,
I've heard that most of the later games aren't really good.
4 is okay. 5 is crap. I haven't played Infinite yet. I think you can play Infinite. I think the multiplayer's open, but I don't play Halo for the multiplayer, which is probably a strange thing, but I actually do like the single-player campaign a lot, because I never had Xbox Live as a kid, so my experience is really this, the single-player campaign. And occasionally deathmatching with my cousin Vinny. So like at most 4-person deathmatch. Honestly, Master Chief Collection, because it doesn't use Xbox Live, is really what I've been using. This has been my first experience playing Halo multiplayer, as in full-on multiplayer. Though I take that back. I did have Halo PC, and because that's also free, I did a lot of that. I also played around with a lot of mods. Halo Custom Edition, which is the modded version of Halo PC, has one of its real things that was fun was this, how much it got modded. It had full mod controls. You could play Sonic the Hedgehog in it.
Ha, nice. Could you go fast as Sonic, though? I've heard that's his thing.
I mean, if I remember correctly, that mod was broken as hell, and you would just fly halfway across the map.
Nice.
Someone was even trying to build like I remember, like a Dragon Ball Z mod, but that went nowhere. You know, I think that was a point in time where everyone was making Dragon Ball Z mods.
I'm just imagining that then we'd have, you know, the dream, which is Sonic versus Goku.
I mean, they can both go super relative species, so... Though Sega has clarified that only male hedgehogs can go super for some reason.
Sega, what you do? Why?
Yeah, I guess just if you're an Amy fan, go fuck yourself. So back to John Halo.
So the weird thing about Amy to me was always the fact that she was originally introduced as like a little kid, and then they
oh my god,
on screen grew her up so that she could be obsessed with Sonic, and it was really weird.
Oh, okay. Am I gonna have to go on the tangent about Ken Penders and how he made it even worse?
Always.
I mean, okay, so brief Sonic topic. So in the Sonic Archie comics, Ken Penders, I guess in one thing, I'm gonna be fair, he was kind of in a bad spot, but he's also kind of a little weird, so it's hard to say which was the bigger thing. He had to age up the character. He didn't have, he had to. So his solution, I would have said that she got trapped in a time loop, personally speaking, and aged up that way. He just had her wish herself older, which doesn't actually fix the problem at all, with why that's a problem, with mentally they remained a child. And speaking of someone who's still mentally a child, John Halo and his Vocaloid waifu here are really just wiping house thanks to this invisibility power problem.
Good segue.
I mean, he might be emotionally stunted, to be completely honest.
I mean, probably. Like,
I mean, he didn't be so... Oh, sorry.
He was like, what, 6'10" by the time he was like 11?
It had to be
probably not
pre-puberty.
very well socialized.
He was also trained to idolize the military and it's like it's called the Spartan program. Originally it was called the Orion program, but it was called the Spartan program because they did kidnap children and raise them to be soldiers.
It was basically like, a historically accurate rendition of the Spartans.
Yeah, that's not. Let me guess. That's not really accurate, is it? Because you're.
No. The Spartans were like legitimately some of the most awful people in history.
Oh, so that's accurate. Okay.
Yeah. Like they're on record as just straight up like the Spartan upper class were just incredibly useless at anything but like phalanx fighting, and were proud of having like no skills other than killing people.
I mean that accurately summarizes John Halo.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, John Halo, John Spartan, John 117. It would be great if we had an actual last name for you.
I mean, I can check. I was about to look up what John 117 actually is. 1 second. What is even that? That's a biblical passage. But the Book of John is like the least accurate of them.
If I remember correctly, I know that Bungie has an obsession with multiples of 7. So, like, 343 is a number that comes up all the time. But I can't remember what 117 was. It might, in fact, be a biblical passage.
John 1:17. For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. I don't think this has anything to do with Halo.
Yeah, no, I mean, unless there's an important character named Moses that shows up in Infinite.
I mean, no, I really can't even stretch it, because sure, we're destroying the old covenant, and that will lead to a new covenant being formed in the Banished, but that's just stretching it so
Death
far.
3, I think?
Yeah, Death 3. At this point, if I try to make that work, I'm basically just doing Goatsy on the story. Like, you can't make that metaphor work.
True. I mean, someone probably has.
Oh, I'm sure there's like a 1,000-page dissertation. I mean, there was that Final Fantasy... I still have that Final Fantasy X dissertation written down on my computer somewhere.
I'm kind of curious in seeing this, because I don't think I've ever seen that. I have seen the screenshot LP that someone did of Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy VIII, where they also went through and tried to rewrite the plot to make sense.
Oh, you gotta shoot me that link later. I want to read that.
I read that, like, 5-6 years ago, and I'll see if I can find it.
So here's the Shade turrets. That's what I'm using right now. These actually only appear in Halo 1. They're changed to be more like normal gun encampments in Halo 2, which is kind of weird when you think about it. And then I think you kind of get something like it in Halo 3, but I do think you get something similar to this to Halo 3, but not too much. Halo 3 was weird because it did try to bring back a lot from Halo 1, but I like Halo 3, but the things it brought back from Halo 1 it did worse, like the assault rifle's worse, the pistol is worse.
I remember when, like, Halo 3 was touted as, like, the end of the trilogy, and it was going to be the last Halo game or something.
Oh my god, I was so hyped. I got the Legendary Edition. There's so much bullshit with that, actually. My Xbox broke at the time, and I got the Red Ring of Death, and I was, like, couldn't play it. And I bought the fucking strategy guide, dude, for a Halo game. I couldn't be dumber. But I loved Halo at the time. But yeah. I mean,
so any Halo after, like, 3 just seems, like, really weird to me. It's like...
I can justify it. I can justify some of it. Halo 3 OD... Sorry.
Like, I know you can justify them. It's just one of those things where it's, like... You know, where you consider, like, a series to be like, oh, it's like this, this, and this, and then someone tells you, no, God, no. It's much bigger than that.
Well, I feel like, really, the Bungie games are where the break should be. Because, first off, Halo 3 ODST was just an expansion pack. And then Halo Reach was their swan song. The prequel game that exists just to set up the franchise and test out mechanics for Destiny. I mean, it did.
Yeah.
And just end everything off. Everything after the Bungie games, though, 100% hard to justify. Especially Halo 5. Fuck. Halo 5 is the only one not in the Master Chief Collection. It's the only Halo game that isn't a spin-off that is not in the Master Chief Collection.
I wonder why.
Halo 3 ODST is in the Master Chief Collection, and Master Chief doesn't appear in it.
That's actually kind of excellent.
Well, it's a really good game too. It's an open. It's like it's semi-open world. Okay, so here are the hunters. They're like walking tanks. They're actually worms. Did you know that?
Yeah, they're like a massive colony of worms. They're in, like, power armor.
Yes. I think their name is Megettos, by the way. I think that's their alien name is Megettos.
I think it's like Makaluto or something. And, like, the individual worms are the Mluto, and, like, the whole thing gets the prefix. And apparently they're actually, like, pretty chill guys, normally.
Oh, yeah.
They're like chill philosophical worms. I don't think they're even actually. I think they're only like part of the Covenant because they feel like it essentially.
Well, what happened with that is that there was an arbiter. So the worms didn't really care about the Forerunner stuff somewhat. So they were just living on a Forerunner like installation, and that was pissing off the Covenant. So the Covenant came to kill the Forerunner, not the Forerunners, came to kill these worms, and they didn't really work out. So finally, an arbiter. The arbiter is a elite that is given a special, is usually redeeming themselves for a crime, and he came and decided to use diplomacy, and actually it's called the Taming of the Hunters, which is sort of a weird thing to say considering that they are sentient beings, and he got a deal where they agreed to willingly be part of the Covenant. So it's not really, so taming is kind of a strange thing to call it, but the Covenant are kind of assholes.
I mean, yeah, I think we've established that everyone in this universe is an asshole.
Yeah, even Cortana by the end is an asshole. The only person who isn't an asshole, I'm going to say this, is probably John Halo.
Yeah, and that's because I don't think he has the emotional capacity to be an asshole.
He cannot make emotional decisions. So here are some invisible elites, and in this game, their energy swords cannot be used by the player character, which is disappointing.
Yeah, because I also played the Halo 2 with a friend, and oh man, you get the energy swords, and the energy swords were great.
Oh, in Halo 2, the energy sword was OP as fuck, man. Because the energy swords in Halo 2 had infinite ammo in multiplayer. I mean, what fucking planet were they thinking to give that shit infinite ammo? Sure, it's better to just pick off the person from a distance with a battle rifle, but like, in the first few months, man, the metagame was just built around goddamn energy swords.
I mean, why wouldn't you build your meta around energy swords? I mean, it's
just
always,
Jedi battles.
It's always funny to me when I hear about, like, the meta for something like Halo death matches or whatever.
Fourth death, by the way.
Yeah. What was I thinking of? Because, like, for me, meta is like, oh yeah, like, competitive, like, tournament games. And not so much, like, you drop in for a deathmatch.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Halo 3's multiplayer scene was actually aired on television on ESPN.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that you could watch Halo death matches. I remember catching this on TV, and I watched it. You could watch these death matches on TV. There was a competitive esports scene. I actually saw a pretty sad documentary explaining why that went away. The issues mainly resulting from Halo Reach just not being as easy to use in that format, but they were pushed due to contract deals to use Halo Reach, and it ended up like killing the entire thing.
Oof.
Yeah. Something about, it's something that doesn't happen here, but you notice how when I fire the gun, it doesn't really get too inaccurate. Most of the weapons, you can actually keep certain levels of accuracy. The sniper rifle is interesting because there is a pushback, and the pistol has that a little bit. There's some recoil, but a lot of the guns you can just keep firing and they stay on point. Halo Reach introduced a new mechanic called Bloom, where every shot would temporarily lower your accuracy if you kept holding down the fire button, and that really just fucked with a lot of the meta for Reach. And apparently that really annoyed the players a lot. Also, it introduced a thing called armor powers. Like, you see, Master Chief is pretty basic right now. There's some power-ups, like overshields and active camouflage, but there's no sprint, there's no armor shield, there's no equipment. It's just your guns, your shields, and your grenades.
And your super strength. Wait, can you not flip the warthogs in this one? I remember,
you absolutely can.
Because I remember, I want to say it was in Halo 3 where there's a couple times where you can just flip a tank. And it's like, okay.
Oh, you can flip a tank in this game. Not only can you flip a tank in this game, that's actually a joke in Red vs. Blue. Where they're like, I don't know how she's going to get that tank over. They just text flips the damn thing. You can absolutely flip tanks in Halo 1. I mean,
Excellent.
there's a fun genre of usually I think there's source movie maker files on YouTube that are like Halo, but it's lore accurate. So it's just like Master Chief being the Flash, or Master Chief just like punching people across the room because the Halo books make Master Chief out as the biggest Chad who ever chatted.
Oh, so they're like the Warhammer novels, where like because in the actual game the Space Marines are like normal units, whereas in the novels, like an individual Space Marine has body counts in the thousands and like walks through walls. Not like a ghost or anything, just like walks through walls.
Just taking one moment to say R.I.P. Rip in peace to the Emperor has a text-to-speech device.
Yeah, it's a shame Games Workshop decided to essentially take their FanWorks policy back into the 80s.
You know, I just realized I'm really stupid right now. I could just insta-kill them with the sniper rifle. Why am I not doing that?
Or the pistol.
I don't have the pistol on me right now.
I think it's because you wanted to show off how awesome the hunters are.
No, actually, I run away from this fight, so I'm actually very confused what I'm doing.
We'll learn together.
I'm being really stupid right now.
But you were saying something about armor powers while we're waiting for you to figure out what the hell you're doing.
Oh, I mean, that was in Halo Reach. It was an added mechanic. It wasn't too well balanced. It's still in Halo to this day. I don't personally love them. I mean, sure, it sounds like a cool idea on paper to give Master Chief a jetpack, but it's like the maps are not designed for that verticality, and I don't think that the designers are up to the challenge half the time.
Yeah, like, vertical maps are complicated.
I will say the modding shit, though, especially with Master Chief Collection, have been pretty fucking lit. They just got modding tools, and there's been some pretty fun shit in there.
I mean,
I'm about to die.
Ooh, Death 4.
Death 5.
Oh, it's
Well, that was Death 5. Yeah, yeah.
I must have missed one while we were chatting.
Oh yeah, no, I called it out. That was when the Energy Sword Elite got me.
Ah, right, yes. We're up to 5. Let's see if we can make it 6. No. We just need to wait.
Oh, we will absolutely make it. Wait till we get to Assault on the control room and you see my asshole get ripped open live on camera.
It's a good thing that none of these videos are for kids.
Hey, the more I curse, the more YouTube will not set this as set for children. And you don't even advertise these videos. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
When you get to the YouTube partner program, when you eclipse PewDiePie and Markiplier,
you make a funny.
When Gal Gura bows to you, she's like one of the most. You probably never heard of her. She's very popular. Anyway. Oh, you having a little... Oh my god, I think Omicron just made its way to upstate New York.
Nope, that was just me drinking some water and it going down the wrong tube.
Okay, just make sure to cut that out of the audio.
Oh yeah, no, I'm always good at my coughing. One time I should just leave it in, just so people will leave comments about how, like, oh my god, are you dying? It always sounds like I'm dying. It's not, I just have, like, a very robust cough.
I think it's to be honest, I think it's got more to do with the recording. Oh, so something I want to talk about, and this is going to become a big problem later on. But Halo has a very interesting checkpoint system. Halo will only checkpoint if there are no active enemies in the immediate area.
That sounds
This is probably to avoid... Well, it makes sense. Because I think this restriction was placed on it to avoid an infinite death loop. So that you would never be caught in a situation where the game checkpoints 2 seconds before you die. So, the problem you're going to see later on is it also introduces a swarming enemy that is constantly around you, and it makes checkpointing nearly fucking impossible.
Wonderful.
But right now we're good.
So one thing I'm confused about, because I remember that, like, I know a lot of older games handled that with if you checkpoint and die, it just doesn't spawn enemies near the checkpoint.
Oh, okay, so that is different. Halo actually takes a snapshot of the game exactly as it was when you died. And it will just reload you right back into the game, and everything will be exactly how it is. This is actually why the Assault and Control Room really fucked with me, because you normally, when you load back in, everything is exactly in the same spot. And the only level I found that doesn't do that is Assault and Control Room. It's a little strange.
It's because that level hates you personally and wants you to suffer.
Oh, it will feel that way in a few minutes. But, so, one thing that's funny is that this is the point where if I had actually kept any of the Marines alive, which on lower difficulties I can do, I'm supposed to let them into this room by opening that door. But I won't do that because the hunters never despawn, and if I open that door, the 2 hunters will come in and, like, tear my ass open.
Yes, because you make good decisions.
Yeah, including the decision to not just shoot them with the sniper rifle. Like, I clearly have bullets for it. I really don't know what I was doing.
It's always fun. Like I haven't done much post commentary, but with post commentary, it's always fun to like look back and go, "What was I thinking?"
I like when I do that. By the way, when I shoot at a wall, because I know the reason I do that is because the way the AI will work is if you just start shooting at a wall, they'll usually back off for a few minutes because they don't want to get hit.
Mm-hmm. And the elites will go, ho, 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 ho.
You know, I mean, it makes sense. If you're shooting wildly at a wall, yeah, it's dumb, but if they walk up to you, they're going to get hit, so they'll pull back. But it does look a little funny to just waste bullets on the wall.
Yeah.
Why am I not using that health pack that I clearly can see from here? What the fuck? Past me, there was a health pack right there.
Past Kovac, what were you thinking? I think past you was just trying to secure that sweet, sweet sixth death.
Oh, I think I'm going to at this rate.
Were you tired when you were recording this?
Oh, is that a challenge I'm hearing?
No, I'm like trying to figure out why you would have like not noticed that, because you're normally like really on the ball for these kind of things.
I don't know. I probably was just honestly, I was pretty disoriented in this level, and I think that's this is actually one thing I want to comment about. It's a little bit thing that annoyed me about this level is that this is not a very varied environment. Can I just say that? One thing about replaying this game is it made me realize a lot of things. This area looks very samey. All the hallways are copy and pasted, as you probably noticed, when it comes to the textures on the walls. So I kept getting lost mentally. I think around here I had no idea if I was going the right way, and I was actually convinced I had made a wrong turn. I'm actually at this point convinced I had made a mistake and I'm not supposed to be here.
When in fact it's the opposite that is the case.
Yeah, I'm actually am supposed to be here, but I'm getting legitimately confused. Like, I'm thinking one of these doors is supposed to open up. And I think one thing that actually makes it harder is that I don't know, I think the Marines are supposed to be with me and tell me what to do. Like, what will eventually happen is that Cortana, I don't know if there's a glitch, because she waits till the last minute to start the countdown to open the room. But she's supposed to be hacking the door to let me in.
Oh man, you got a Needler though.
I think this is the only time I use that in the entire game for some reason.
Which is a shame.
And I think it's gonna be in the timeline that doesn't exist, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to get my 6th death.
That's a shame. The Needler is just such a fun concept for a shooty bang bang weapon.
I hate the fucking Needler melee though. The Needler melee in this game, you probably just saw the animation. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take my hand out and throw it forward, then carefully put my hand back in. When the second game realized you can just hammer down with the damn thing. What are you doing, Chief? John Halo, what are you doing?
John Halo is trying to be very delicate with the weird alien gun.
I do love we've all agreed his name is John Halo.
Like, John Halo... Like, I think he's John Halo, his middle name is Spartan.
John Halo Spartan. John Spartan Halo.
Yes, that's what his I was about to say his mother calls him, but
No, his mother just calls him. Wait, let me not make that joke. Let me not make a dead baby joke. Let me be a little classy here.
Yeah. Like, that's actually a real question. Was his original name John? Or did the military just go, your name is now John. We're also going to give you a number.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like they probably did do that. They probably did rename them, and that's pretty fucked. Because the names are all like John and George, and they're very basic, and Linda. They're not really exotic names, and John is from Africa, too. I mean, I guess he might be from, like, I don't know, like John is not a traditional, like, I mean, he's a white person from Africa, so he's probably, like, a British colonialist descendant. But, like, still, though, it does make me wonder a little bit. Yeah, see what I mean by getting lost, by the way?
Yeah.
Because Cortana's dialogue still has not triggered to let me know I'm supposed to just wait out in that room until the damn door opens.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that you have a radar instead of a mini-map.
Yeah. Well, that's because of aliens. We gotta,
This is true. We have the motion detector.
Did you ever wonder in Aliens why the fuck they had motion detectors when motion detectors was like just some shit that someone jury rigged in the first one? I mean, I guess it implies it's standard tech, but it is a little weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, how many years did Ripley stay in cryosleep?
Oh, I swear to God, it was like 100 years. Like, her daughter aged for her entire life.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Death sixth. And hey, you got one final use for the needles. I always do like it when enemies still attack your corpse when you die. I don't know why.
Well, they actually do. There is something that did frustrate me. The aliens will laugh at you and shoot you when you die sometimes. The elites will go and then shoot you, and it's like, fuck you. You actually normally stay dead for longer, but because the PC version loads faster, you don't get to stay dead for as long.
Nice. It would make sense that since as you mentioned, the checkpoints are literally just taking a save state and reloading that save state. They would have to do something They would have to do something to hide the loading.
Yeah, this isn't like a SNES ROM that you downloaded off of MU Paradise. This is like a Xbox ISO that you downloaded off of MU Paradise. It takes more effort to just load it like that.
I take it you really like this MU Paradise?
Actually, I don't even know if that site still exists. It was just the first one I could think of.
I'm actually going to go look, because I'm curious.
So, I hope that's a real site and not like a porn site or something. So one thing that just happened to me, though, that I want to bring up. This is a way...
It is still up. And now that we've announced it on video, they're going to be taken down.
So one thing I want to bring up, because it actually brings up how enemies work together to make this game really good, is that a jackal just shot me with a charged plasma bolt. And only jackals will do this. I don't think the grunts do. But what this means is that jackals can fully take down my shield with a single blast. Yeah, this is what I should have done in my first encounter. What the fuck, me? But anyway, and I did it to the elite, the hunters outside. What the fuck? Anyway, so the the jackals end up having this nice niche where they exist to stop you from just hiding behind your energy shields or being too aggressive, because you can get shot by the jackal and lose all of your shields. Are we gonna get a Def 7?
Pretty clever. And oh man, are we?
Well, all of the enemies, sorry, but all of the enemies are built around a system. The elites are the point men, their energy shields make them very hardy, and they also mean that if you use too many, run and gun tactics, you're actually just wasting ammunition on them. The grunts are always running around and firing so that your energy shields can't easily recharge, and the jackals hiding behind their shields and charging up their plasma bolts can take down your energy shields quickly, and thus make overly aggressive tactics undesirable at times. They all work together in synergy. Until the second half of the game, when everything goes to shit and Bungie just throws game design into trash. Okay, it's not that bad. But I won't have as nice things to say about it.
You keep talking up the second half of the game like it's your favorite.
I'm just saying, I'm going to have a lot to say about the game design in the second half of Halo 1 when we get to it.
Yeah. From what I remember, it was like the level design falls to pieces after a certain point. Like not like not like right now is like the most sterling example of map design, given the repetitive hallways. But I remember it just kind of became nonsense.
Well, what they're doing right now is a pretty clever thing where every other level is either corridors or open. So you go from corridor open, and I think that's clever. But in the second half of the game, we'll get to it when we get to it. I mean, we're jumping all over the place. Why not? Time's a flat circle, def 7.
It just wasn't even worth responding to, honestly. They just happen so often.
I'm sliding words over there.
Death is just so cheap when you're John Halo.
Well, as long as John Halo remains determined, he can keep coming back from death. You must remain determined, John. Oh, right, you didn't play Undertale.
I didn't, no. I mean, I was about to be like, is that Undertale? But then I didn't want to seem foolish. And I mean, I already mentioned in one of my videos, which I don't know if anyone actually watched, that, yeah, Undertale is on the list of the games that probably not going to play anytime soon. I was hoping. I have a history with Undertale.
If I play it, though, because I love Undertale.
I mean, then that would be negotiable.
Anyway, when you punch dead bodies, they shoot out blood, but they will never gib.
What's the point?
Yeah. I guess probably it is funny to me, by the way, that Halo has an M rating. Does this really seem like an M game to you?
At this point, no.
I mean, is there anything in this game where you couldn't see it in Ratchet and Clank, or Jak and Daxter, or Jak and Daxter 2, or Jak and Daxter 3, or Jak and Daxter Extreme Racing?
Or Jak and Daxter 5, The Search for More Money.
No, that was Jak and Daxter 4, The Lost Frontier.
Ah, okay. Probably no. You know what it might be? It might be the fact that you can see blood.
Oh no, bright blood. Oh my god, blood. We can't let kids know blood's in them. We've got to hide blood.
So that eventually they'll get caught and be really, really confused. 8.
Count with me, kids. 1. And I won't do that.
So, I'm assuming you're aware of the video where they just bleep out part of a clip with the count.
No.
I can send you the link after we're done with this. It's childish, but
I think
hilarious.
I got stuck. Oh, okay. Another nice thing, by the way, about grunts at higher difficulty settings is they throw plasma grenades, which are good because plasma grenades route you from cover. Wait, route? Yeah, why not? Route you from cover. Like, every part of the enemy design is clever in the Covenant, and I think that's why the elites are... Oh, shit, I got flanked and didn't realize it.
You're bracing to cut 9. Okay, that was...
This is really just making my claim that I didn't think I died in the first 3 levels the more and more dubious.
Exactly. I mean, I do like how, because of the faster loading times, they didn't even let your body hit the ground.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the... Oh, my throat.
I should also link you the mashup between that and It's Raining Men. Because it's pretty good.
That sounds amazing.
I mean, it's just like... As someone pointed out, it's like, it's the oldest joke when you come up with, like, the concept of mashups. But it actually works.
Well, you know, by the way, just to change back to Halo, there's this really... there's actually, like, an official rock song for Halo 2 by Breaking Benjamin.
Interesting.
I don't know who Breaking Benjamin is, by the way.
I've heard of them. I don't actually have a reference for what their music sounds like.
Okay, so the Gold Elites, by the way, are some of the toughest. And the HD remaster makes them silver, which is stupid, because gold is better than silver. It might be silver and gold, but everyone knows they'd rather have gold than silver. Unless, you know, on the other, you know. But, you know, in general, though, gold is better than silver.
So, clearly, they weren't actually turned silver, they were turned platinum.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to show off something here in a second. Something I'm not going to bother doing, because even though they're cool, I really don't care. There are these things called terminals that will play little short films. You can look them up on YouTube. This is one of them. I'm not going to activate them, because it doesn't even play in the video game window, unless I'm wrong. I know on the Xbox, it actually loads up in a different window. I don't know.
That's kind of bizarre, honestly.
Well, Xbox uses Windows. Well, I mean, Xbox was made by Microsoft. It actually does have Windows, so it'll load up in a different app. I don't know if it's the same with the Master Chief Collection on PC. Probably not, but it would load up Halo Waypoint, which used to be an application for like watching like Halo videos, like the live action series you probably didn't know existed.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yes, there is a Halo live action series. It's called Forward Unto Dawn.
But why though? Oh,
it was to promote Halo 4, because the Forward Unto Dawn is actually the ship from Halo 4.
Oh, I'm just imagining, like... Well, I was about to say, like, I'm just imagining how cheap all the aliens are gonna look, but, they probably put a lot of budget behind it.
Their solution to that one's actually pretty funny. So they invented new alien species that can be done with rubber.
Of course.
If I remember correctly, they introduced a new alien species that's like a mercantile species. It's basically just the jackals. Like, I could tell they probably wanted to use the jackals, but they realized it'd be expensive. So instead they made this new alien species that could easily be done with suitmation. And it looks like a Star Trek episode.
Amazing. And by amazing, I mean, that's dumb. That's amazingly dumb.
That may not have been Forward Unto Dawn. Maybe a Halo expert can tell me what it actually was.
I mean, aren't you the Halo expert? Aren't you the Master Chief of Halo?
I made 10 chapters into Halo Krypton at best. And that's the one written by an actually good sci-fi author.
Yeah.
Like, I think you actually knew the sci-fi author when we were talking about it.
Greg Bear.
Yeah. What did he write that you liked?
I think I mixed him up with someone else, honestly.
I see.
You know how it is.
Yeah, and probably just mix him up with a different bear that you know from your life.
I know many bears. I live near the woods.
They are a problem up here in New York. Most of y'all probably want to associate New York with bear country, but New York is bear country, all y'all in the South who probably hate me right now.
I mean, here's the thing about New York State. Down south, you have New York City, and it's an entirely different country.
We pay all your taxes.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Upstate New York is like the 48th like state in terms of economy.
It is a little fucked though how bad upstate New York does get treated though.
I mean, it's because everyone forgets that upstate New York exists.
I went to college, so just for retrospect, I am from downstate, but I went to college in upstate, and that's how I know Lady Nappy. So
And you did.
I lived
not,
there on campus.
Not
Sorry.
even like far upstate, just Binghamton.
Halo.
Really, is Binghamton not that far upstate?
Yeah, Binghamton's still like the southern tier. Like,
I mean, it's not that far from Syracuse.
yeah, you're not going up like near the border. Or like where my mother's family is from, which was actually one of the first places they did oil drilling in the United States.
Controls Halo, controls the fate of
Yeah, fun fact: New York State used to be oil country.
Damn oil country, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, I actually own a plot of land and the oil rights.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
have
oil
to-
there.
Well, it's good you got mineral rights, though, because if you do find anything, like platinum or zirconium, at least you own it.
I should
And
find.
imagine
my,
what you'll do with all that cubic zirconium.
I mean, yeah, I'll be able to make my. I'll finally be able to make my gem sona.
Let's
It'll
move.
be great.
Because people think you're worth something, but
But
you
I'm
actually
not.
don't.
That's
So,
that's a
important
callback
thing to
That's a callback to college. Don't mind that. Just ignore that we said anything.
Steven Universe is a good show, and you should watch it. Even though Lady Mappy never has.
So what?
You can cut out.
Yeah,
You
no,
can cut
I
out
will.
the where I almost said your name.
I will.
So this is an interesting segment because I'm sorry. This is an interesting segment because Keys can actually die here. This is actually an export mission, except he doesn't die because I'm too much of an OG to let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got all your deaths out of the way earlier.
Shut up. Shut up.
I mean, no. Here's the thing: in a normal course, Keys would have died at least like once. But John Halo knew that if he died multiple times, Keys would be in no danger. Because John Halo is a wise and prescient being.
John Halo is God.
I mean, honestly, would anyone in this setting make more sense to be God than John Halo?
I mean, considering the fact that all the other Spartan 2s are little bitches who died like pathetic deaths, but Chad, 12-inch dong, John Halo just walks through and blows up a Covenant armada on his first like real mission against the Covenant. Like, we see George in Halo Reach get his dick handed to him, and then John just shows up like, fuck y'all, and just kills everybody. Oh my god.
I mean, that is because John is a superior name to George. I'm sorry that you had to hear it from me, Georges of the world, but, John is shorter.
It is, and everyone knows shorter names are best.
Yes.
Why do you think we both renamed ourselves to names online that are less than half the letters of our normal name, Mappy and Kovak?
I mean, for me, it's 2/3. And my full internet handle is actually longer than my real name.
Did I ever tell you, by the way, that I got confirmed under the same saint as my dead name, so that my name would be my name, so that my full name would be twice.
Yes, I remember you like looking that up and going like, "Damn it, I got dead named by myself 10 years ago."
Yeah. That's the downside of that plan.
Yeah.
Not future-proofed. They also probably shouldn't let children decide things like that.
I mean, that is why they let you like at least put on a few years before you get to rename yourself. But, like, imagine if children were just generally allowed to pick their own names at, like, 11.
Oh, so many Optimus Primes and Megatrons.
So many.
Do people still like Transformers? Because I still like Transformers. I mean, Transformers Prime was okay. I liked animated. Beast Wars is OG good. But is there any really good Transformers series right now?
I don't know. Transformers is your thing, not mine.
Fair enough. So,
I'm gonna say something really sad. The only Transformers things I've seen are, like, 2 of the Michael Bay movies.
oh, that's sad.
It really
So anyway,
is.
Commander Keyes is going to use this dropship like a fucking, I don't know, I've said Chad so many times, and I'm afraid people are going to start thinking I'm an incel. But Keyes is going to use this like if... He loves piloting ships like a dick. It's one of his only character traits. It might actually be his only character trait outside of the novels. I assume. I haven't read the novels, but I assume they probably characterized him.
I'm just imagining in the novels they just characterize him as, and he likes ramming his ship into things. The only characterization you need. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this long, rambly episode of Halo, wherein many deaths
Like they're not
happened.
all that way. Yes, please come back next time for The Silent Cartographer.